Now, the minority in Parliament has condemned the dissolution of the Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company Board, claiming it's a cover-up by the President and Energy Minister of alleged corrupt acts at the company. The sector ministry on Wednesday announced the dissolution of the board weeks after it had passed a resolution indicting the Chief Executive Officer, Frances Isiam. Ranking member on Parliament's Mines and Energy Committee, Adams Mutawakilu, is serving notice a future NDC government will re-investigate the alleged breaches of procurement acts by the CEO and bring officials to book.
It's a sad day for Mother Ghana. Very sad. It's just purely a cover-up. It's purely a cover-up by the president to cover up the rot at Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company.
Why would the president be interested in covering it up? Frances Isiam, to protect her?
Yeah, to protect Frances Isiam. That's the CEO of the company. Because a board has raised certain legitimate issues. Set up a committee. She refused to respond. She refused to respond to the queries that was put to her by the board. And the board took an action. Then the minister set up a committee to investigate. And they were given 2 weeks to produce the report. As we speak, we don't even know whether the report has been submitted. And all of a sudden, the board is dissolved. This is a tactic to cover up for the CEO, Frances Isiam. It is evident.
Why is a suspicion that the CEO has done something wrong, which even the president and the minister wouldn't want?
I can confidently say the CEO breached the Public Procurement Act. And as a minority, I had promised we'll be coming up with our own report. We'll finalize it this weekend, and next week we'll bring the report out for the public, the media, and everybody to see what happened and why the board raised those issues and whether it breaches the Public Procurement Act or not.
And your suspicion is that the minister was also involved in this breaches?
As at the time the board was not working, the minister responsible for energy was a supervisory ministry. And that is why he had the fiat to set up and then to announce on behalf of the president to dissolve. So all actions by the CEO will definitely go to the minister for approval. So if the CEO is implicated, indirectly it has effect on the minister. And that is why they are playing that cover-up, encouraging corruption. And that is bad for us.
The CEO, we understand, wasn't equally dismissed with the dissolution of the board. What's your expectation in that regard? That she should also be made to go?
That is what I'm saying. Why did the president dissolve the board? It's to protect the CEO, Frances Isiam. That is the basis for which the board had been dissolved, to protect her. And unfortunately, she will think she has powers and can continue to misbehave, but she knows that the law has no time limit. Even 10 years, we'll go back and dig what happened and where is it. With our report coming up, it will be a basis to spring on.
So you're threatening her that she possibly faces prosecution when power changes hands?
I'm just saying that the law has no time limit. That is what I'm saying. If you commit an act today, it doesn't mean that after 2 years, then nothing can happen.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, is also calling for the removal of Frances Isiam as CEO of the company following the decision of the Energy Ministry to dissolve the board. Executive Secretary Duncan Amoah says a detailed report on investigations into alleged financial malfeasance and procurement breaches against Frances Isiam should be made public.
we are requesting the government to have a second look at the issues. We are equally requesting that a bad precedent to corporate governance in Ghana should not be set such that all other governing boards of state-owned enterprises would remain gagged by this outcome. If you recall, the board being part of the company had found certain adverse findings against the CEO, which they brought to the fore, following which their meeting within the premises was cancelled by the CEO. The company had to be locked up the full day in May. The board still had to meet outside the premises. Came to a decision to sanction the CEO, ask her to be suspended for a while for investigations to be carried out. Unfortunately, you find the State Enterprises Commission coming to the defense of the CEO, even without the proper investigation having been done at the time. And so it leaves all of us thinking, is there an attempt to cover up another, rot? Is there an attempt to cover up a CEO who is alleged to have procured equipment to the tune of $5 million without the public procurement processes being followed? Is that exactly what is playing out? And unfortunately, what we have heard from the committee, a member of the committee, is that their report in no way cleared the CEO. Unfortunately, we are rather getting a report that says that the boss